Hi guys, Robo46 here, welcome to round 7 of Robo's Racing League on MotoGP 15 on the Xbox One. This time we're at Silverstone. Let's have a look at qualifying, and usual suspect as you would expect on pole position. One racer, followed by Emil in second, Dylan third, I'm in fourth, Brandy Scales is fifth, GSXR Matt in sixth, Armorland seventh, Typical Mikey eighth, and the Postman is in ninth. Biker did disconnect in qualifying, so he doesn't actually set a time, but he will start in 10th place. Let's do the grid. Second row start for me. Wasn't really sure what I'd be able to do in the race. I just hoped that my controller wasn't going to have that horrible, stupid bullshit that happened in Brno when it just decided to start disconnecting itself and made me crash. And lose loads of places. So here we go. Off the line, pretty bad start. Bike did bog down quite a bit. Lost a couple of places into the first corner. Coming out the first corner, lose another couple of places. 7th place. This sector here is where you can lose or make a shed load of time on your lap time. When I was doing time trial, that's where I was making quite a lot of time up, but bad exit there. Currently in 5th place. We got Dylan fighting with Brandy Scales just ahead. 2 arrows just behind me. Someone tries to go up the inside but doesn't quite manage it. Looks like they're battling with Emil, who's in second. We go into the chicane. I've kind of worked out my perfect braking marker for the Moto2s for that chicane, because if you get that wrong, it's really easy to crash there and you just lose shitloads of time. So I tend to brake a little bit earlier than usual just to make sure that I don't go too wide. Still 5th, and Brandy Scales is looking to have a go at the inside of Dylan in 3rd place. He goes up the inside. Does he make it stick? Dylan cuts back. But Brandy Scales, it looks like he's going to go back up the inside. No, Dylan does. He's got the better drive. It is Brandy who's in 3rd at the moment. He'll be better on the brakes. Looks like Dylan's gone around the outside. He's gone a little bit wide. Left the door open. Brandy's gone back through. But will Dylan cut back to go underneath? He does, but he's gone a bit wide himself. He will get the better drive. Brandy Scales went on the curb a little bit on the exit, and now so did Dylan. So it looks like Dylan's gone around the outside of him again. And he's just ahead of him come the start-finish line. So into lap 2. Nice line from me through there. But we're still in 5th place. I don't know what the gap is behind. Armorland fighting with the Postman. Coming closing on these guys ahead. Dylan trying to get the better of Emil, but not quite making it stick. Bit of a gap emerging there. Looks like Brandy Scales has he made a place up? I don't think so, not just yet. Someone's gone really wide there. I think that was Emil going really wide, but Dylan not quite managing to get underneath him. Into the chicane. Everything's looking good. Close up a bit on the chicane. Oh, big rear end moment there as Brandy Scales goes back underneath Dylan for 3rd place. So 0.666 behind Dylan now. Dylan tries to cut back underneath him. He's going to have it on the brakes. Looks like Brandy's gone wide. It looked like he actually crashed then, because a little bit of lag, but Brandy's gone back up the inside. No, Dylan has. Emil's had a crash. Touched the curb and down he went. So we're actually up to 4th at the moment. So Brandy Scales currently ahead in 2nd place. He's gone wide there and Dylan's cut back underneath him. Will Brandy Scales get a better exit? Doesn't look like it. So Dylan's got second place at the moment. That is the end of lap 2. To the first corner again. Mills caught us back up. Losing time to the front guys. Oh, so lucky not to get a penalty then, but I think the game kind of remembered the penalty, or the harsh penalty I got at Catalonia, and thought we'll let him off this one. So for once I actually had a decent bit of luck. I just turned in a bit too early on that corner. We're actually back down to 5th as Emil went past us. Dylan went way wide then and Brandy got back underneath him. So we go into this horrible chicane again. Front tries to go away from you. And Emil, that's exactly what happened to him. The front went. He's down again. And a crash for typical Mikey. Possibly the same crash. Now we've caught back up a bit to Dylan. Looked like he went across the curb then. Moorland up to 5th. Went a bit wide there, completely missed the apex. We've got our Moorland on the back of us now. And I don't think Emil was very far behind him either. So 0.3 back to Moorland. He's right behind us. Front group pulling away now. Will we be able to hold off our Moorland? Went a little bit wide, but managed to cut it back for a late apex. Try not to go too close to the barriers. Moorland comes past, gets slightly better drive out the last corner. Just going to the first corner, I go a little bit wide on the curb, lose a bit of drive. Try to get a better exit out of here, and I do. Close back up on him. Go a bit wide. He didn't get the best of exits out of there, neither did I. That's almost half a second already, that gap. I don't think Emil was too far behind me. Alright, see if we can close in on the chicane. Yes we do. Close right in. In fact, we get past him up the inside. Gone a bit wide there. Will he cut back? Yes he will. He will get the better drive out. Moorland at the moment in a slipstream, but I don't really want to be because I don't want to mess up my braking. So brake a little bit earlier. Probably a bit too early there. Try to get a good run out of here. Get ready for the hairpin. He goes really wide and we cut back underneath. We're back up to 4th place. It's like Brandy Scales just re-overtaken Dylan as Dylan went a bit wide. So now 4th place at the moment. This corner I used to have big problems with on the GP bikes, just the front end going, the rear end coming around. Go really wide here, but luckily no one comes underneath. So we come around to finish lap 4 and start lap 5. One race has just done the fastest lap of the race. Of course, it's quite a long lap here. As Brandy Scales had a crash there, so we're actually up to 3rd now. Brandy Scales having a crash into the first corner. Cocked that corner up completely. Lost loads of momentum. Past comes our Moorland. Cocked up my exit as well. Went around a bit too wide and Emil comes past. Can't get back past him. Getting the slipstream of our Moorland. Can we get past him? Remember to brake a bit earlier into this corner so that I can close in and go underneath. Back up to 3rd place. Into the chicane. I think that was like one of my strongest points into the chicane. Coming around here, just trying to find the grip for the rear because it just wants to spin up all the time. We're still in third at the moment. Dylan's 2.7 seconds up the road. Someone had a crash there. I think that was our Moorland who just crashed. It was. Try to get up the inside of a mill but run a bit wide. And then almost do what he'd done when he crashed on the curb. And then spun up massively on the curb and lost loads of time. Brandy Scuzz is right behind as well. So we're actually down to 5th now. On the curb again. Not what I want to be doing. So we're halfway through the race now. We're still in 5th place. Made a few mistakes on that lap, which did let a couple of people come past. But at least we haven't crashed yet, which is the main thing. And my controller is still going strong at the moment, which is obviously a massive bonus because we don't want that to go all tits up because, yeah, really want to happy after Bruno. So trying to stay with these guys at the moment. My pace not being very consistent throughout the race for some reason. Really wide there. Lost a few tenths. Could I make much up back in the braking area for the chicane? No, because that time I actually cocked it up and ran in a bit too deep. Well, it kind of closed up a little bit, even though I did make a mistake. Coming out of here, I was really slow. That is lap 6. We'll cut over to one racer now on his final lap because not a lot really happened from lap 6 now. This is his final lap. Just, as always, smooth as ever. Hopefully in the next game you won't have to go so smooth to be so quick. Hopefully it would be good to be able to go quite quick but be really, really ragged as well. Crash further back from Matt in 7th place. Dylan not actually that far behind. He was like 1.5 behind at that last split that just popped up. Into the chicane. Spinning up not too much. So the gap is 1.3, so it actually come down a tiny bit. Just looking nice and neat and tidy. Doesn't even get squirrely on the brakes. Crash there for our Moorland. He was actually behind me at that point, but we'll cut back to my last lap in a minute. As he just goes around the last few corners. Just the final corner now. No one, I don't think anyone actually crashed going through there, going too close to that barrier, which is a big plus. So that was that. My final lap. Brandy Scuzz was up the road, 2.9 seconds. I had quite a big gap from our Moorland anyway. Quite a comfortable one anyway. And as we get into here, he just had a crash there. So whether he just like completely lost on the brakes or what, I don't know. Almost had a crash there as I went across the curb, but yeah, it's been an interesting race anyway as we go into this dodgy corner. I actually went quite wide there, but managed to cut it back slightly. And just the last couple of corners. And there we go, 5th place for me. So the final results, one racer took the win, closely followed by Dylan in 2nd. Emil eventually got 3rd ahead of Brandy in 4th. I was 5th, R. Morland 6th. Matt was 7th, the Postman was 8th. Typical Mikey was 9th and Biker was 10th. What's that done to the championship? Well, one racer again extends his lead on 158 points. In 2nd place is Emil with 126. But closing in is I, Dylan, now in 3rd with 121. I'm still in 4th with 82. 5th place is R. Moreland with 79. Brandy Scales moves in on Moreland slightly in 6th place with 67. Bike is in 7th with 53. GSXR Matt in 8th with 47, so he's closed up on Biker. And he's gone past Moreland 97, who's now in 9th with 40 points. The Postman is 10th with 28, and Pistol is 11th with 20 points. Then we've got Typical Mikey, moves up to 12th with 17 points. N-Jerk in 13th with 16 points. I Am Cyborg 14th with 13 points. Colonel Carlos 15th with 9 points. And Chand in 16th with 5 points. So it was definitely an interesting race. I was a bit disappointed with my result, but and my pace for that matter. Just didn't really, I just couldn't seem to be able to put a decent lap together. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. The next race will be at Misano. Then we got Phillip Island and Valencia. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more content, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See you.